Athletes are pushed to the ultimate limit to gain success in their chosen field. One Area 3 sport athlete is now ready to return to action after being sidelined with the greatest challenge of his life. There comes a time when one moment changes your life forever.
This is the bar that changed my life right here.
For Thomas Dale's Dex Richardson, his came February 1st of this year.
I still remember every single thing that happened during that day.
Nothing was unusual about that morning.
I was in gym class, just having fun.
Working on the same pull-up bar he had done hundreds of times before.
Tried to stretch my back out like I usually do at home. I guess I stretched too much.
Unexpectedly, Dex felt dizzy and passed out. As coaches and friends surrounded him, Dex woke up with a smile that disguised how seriously hurt he was.
The prankster that he is, I almost thought he was joking around. When I walked over and he was smiling at me, I was like, all right, he's messing around. Then I saw the blood on his face.
Dex suffered a gash above his left eye and was tested for a concussion from his fall. As a precaution, he and his family were advised by their doctor to get an EKG and a heart ultrasound, which ultimately saved his life.
If your heart was a clock, your coronary artery should be coming out over where the 10 is on the clock. And then she referred to the image. She said, so this is his heart. His coronary artery, which should be over on this side, is totally on the other side. So on that clock image, his coronary artery was coming out over between the 2 and the 3 area.
Dex was diagnosed with an anomalous coronary artery, a congenital heart defect that could be fatal if detected late or not at all. Symptoms may include chest tightness, shortness of breath, and fainting, which was the only indication that something was wrong.
I didn't even know what the condition was before this, so I didn't really think I had a condition. So yeah, all I thought was the gash.
The news surprised everyone back at school and would dramatically change Dex's life. He had to step away from all athletics after learning he would need open heart surgery.
To have a perfectly healthy, one of your best athletes fall out like that, and then to get that diagnosis, it was shocking. Kind of made you go home and hug your kids a little tighter that night.
In the days leading up to surgery, Dex stayed calm as he leaned on the support of his family and the Thomas Dale community. His mom also learned about Tucker Mullen, a UVA lacrosse player who faced the same medical challenge.
I need to talk to Tucker. So I find Tucker on Instagram, nicest young man ever, so supportive. Tucker went through the condition. He had his surgery last November, the day before Thanksgiving.
Dex underwent his 6.5-hour surgery on May 7th, which he now celebrates as his second birthday, performed by the same doctor that treated Mullen.
I actually feel better than I was before surgery. My body's improved, really. I feel like I'm getting stronger, better.
The biggest thing I've seen was that maturity. Just the way he's handled the entire situation. Even in recovery, when the sedation was wearing off, when he was able to speak and was speaking coherently, I could see a difference.
During his recovery, Dex can't participate in contact sports for 3 to 6 months. He hopes to be ready for the start of basketball season this winter, and his contribution with the football team already looks a little different.
So basically, I work with like the DBs and the coaches. So it's really fun, really, actually. I get out there, have fun with them like I'm still playing.
And I think other players look up to him because of him being able to do that. And like I said, a little bit different role for him, but at the same time still contributing as that positive influence we need in this building.
While Dex continues his physical recovery, the question of why a relatively healthy high school athlete needing open heart surgery is something that's not going away. Dex and his family still wonder why this has happened to him. It may be so that they can help others avoid a similar situation.
I want others to hear about this story so they can go get checked out, really, and really have another focus that your really heart is like really important for you.
Dex's father encourages other parents to consult with their doctors about an EKG stress test and a heart ultrasound for their children. It takes about 45 minutes for the entire procedure and could save a life. If you would like to nominate someone for us to profile, email us at beyondtheroster@WTVR.com.